This is Mujib from North Country Kettlebells. Today I'm going to be talking about the full kettlebell get up and some of the components that go into doing safe and effective full kettlebell get ups. Now, the full kettlebell get up is a great movement for training the body how to maintain core engagement while moving across multiple planes of movement. So if I think about going from the ground to standing, in this movement, I'm going to be controlling the weight through that whole time. And as I go from one position to the next, it's really teaching my core how to maintain that engagement as I move from one position to the next. Now, as with most other kettlebell movements, consistency is going to be the key to progression with the full kettlebell get ups. I want to think that I'm going to get really good at doing it without any weight in my hand before I add any weight. And once I do add some weight to it, I'm going to start with a very light weight so that I can maintain control of the weight without having to think too hard about it, and I can really put most of my attention on stringing the movements together and creating that consistency. One tip that I have is that once you start practicing the get up, try to think about maybe doing 5 in a row with nothing in your hand. That way you're training yourself through the fatigue how to remember each part of the movement, and you're not trying to remember each part of the movement while you're still trying to control this heavy weight over your head. Once the movement is consistent and I'm moving from one point to the next each time in the same manner, then I want to think that once I've added the weight, that's going to be the most important part of this movement. So once I'm adding weight, I don't want to be thinking about what I need to be doing with the rest of my body. I don't want to ask myself, where's my knee supposed to go? Not thinking about where my hand is supposed to go. All of those parts should be well practiced and well versed by now. And now all I'm thinking about is controlling that weight and keeping that weight in the position that it needs to be in so that I can maintain safety through the whole movement. Things like keeping my eyes or all of my attention on the weight can help with the control. Maintaining a fully extended elbow is also going to help with the control. So as I'm going down or coming up, I'm not letting my elbow bend as I'm doing that. I'm really imagining that once my elbow is at full extension, then it's going to remain locked out and that it's not going to bend at all. I oftentimes want to think about it like if I was going to be doing the full kettlebell get up with another person in my hand, similar to a circus performance or something like that, then as I'm moving through space, I'm going to want to be checking in with my partner the entire time before I move from one position to the next, just to always ensure that my partner is ready for me to move. That way I'm creating stability as I'm moving and I'm never rushing through any part of the movement. The phrase with the full kettlebell get up is slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So I'm never trying to rush through the movement. I'm just trying to flow smoothly from one movement to the next. And if anything, that's what's going to create speed in my movement. But I'm not going to try to rush from one point to another to try to beat the instability. In fact, I'm going to try to stabilize and move from one stable position to the next. As we return back to the ground for the full get up, we're thinking a nice fully controlled return, never falling down to the ground, never hitting the ground hard, never putting the knee down hard. Everything is very controlled as I'm reaching that descent all the way back to the supine position. Again, like every other kettlebell movement, we're going to try to practice low reps to start, maybe 1 to 3 full get ups if I'm using weight, or as many as 1 to 5 full get ups if I'm not using weight, and anywhere from 3 to 5 sets every time that I approach this movement in a workout. If I'm practicing the individual parts or isolating those individual parts of the full get up, then again, I can think of the same rep and set schemes, 1 to 5 and 3 to 5. So 1 to 5 reps, 3 to 5 sets. Try out the full kettlebell get up and let me know what you think. As always, everything that we're doing is trying to practice consistency so that we can maintain safety and effectiveness, especially when we're practicing full kettlebell get ups. This is Mujib from North Country Kettlebells talking about the full kettlebell get up.